So contention for most improved, I think, because they came in with the PB substantially lower than the 3302 that they currently sport, and these are according to SRC. And Rack the Kitty, their opponent, coming in with a 38. So yeah, well, it'd be interesting to see if they can exceed that. And meanwhile, on the bottom, we got Mallix coming in 34-33 and Rubydragon 36-47. And yeah, this is just the prologue here that all these runners are going through. Yeah, on the top race, they are fighting for the right to continue their tournament against Hornlets in the 4th round of the lower bracket. And on the bottom, this is a 2nd round match in the lower bracket. So we're kind of getting things even out bracket-wise here. So that's a 2nd round match, and they will be waiting for the winner of GD Tog Texter in the next round. So yeah, we're seeing pretty intense stuff. Or we're going to see pretty intense stuff. Prologue isn't really that intense. We just kind of learned to dash. You know, we need a refresher sometimes. Sometimes we forget which button it does. Yeah, so all the racers beginning chapter 1 now, and if this is the first time you've ever seen a Celeste race, this is going to be a pretty decent introduction to like everything that we do. All the tech is pretty much based on around the dash that the Crow teaches us, and you can already see that we're just doing like all these hyper dashes and all these, you know, wall bounces. It's all kind of self-explanatory here because, you know, the game is good and kind of tutorializes itself. Mallix, yeah, going for that reverse hyper dash to kind of skip having to collect that dash crystal, but unfortunately couldn't quite get it. And, ooh, just barely missing grabbing onto that wall there. So yeah, some early shakiness from Mallix here, which is allowing Rubydragon to kind of establish a small lead in City here. But of course, this is very early on in the run. A lot of things can happen over the course of this game. Alright, so BlackPear is the first one out of chapter 1 here, and looks like their chapter time is on, so hopefully they can correct that and give us the file timer so that we know what their in-game time is. Otherwise, Rack the Kitty, not too far behind. All runners finishing up chapter 1 at around the same time, RTA at least, so yeah, pretty cool to see. Okay, I'll see if we can get someone to fix Mallix's timer here. Yeah, meanwhile, we're over here in Chapter 2, where, yeah, again, still kind of in the introductions here. We're going through these dream blocks here. BlackPear kind of having a little bit of flub entering that, trying to, like, pull off this, you know, trick where we're trying to, like, enter that dream block diagonally so we don't have to, like, you know, do more movements than is necessary. Yeah, BlackPear having a little bit of trouble with Old Sight here, but yeah, kind of having trouble like getting all these key coins. Yeah, should be getting it on this turn here. Should be coming up to the top. And meanwhile, Rack not too far behind. Hopefully at some point we'll be able to get the in-game timer comparison because I already forgot BlackPear's City and Prologue time, so I can't even add them in my head. Meanwhile, on the bottom, yeah, it looks like a fairly close race on the bottom here coming into Old Sight. Yeah, Mallix and Rubydragon just a couple seconds apart on the in-game timer and virtually synced in RTA, which is cool to see. Alright, so yeah, we got BlackPear and Mallix coming through Awaken. It looks like Rubydragon took a death on that last screen of the battle line chase. Yeah, just couldn't quite evade the battle line shadows. well enough, and yeah, that's going to give Mallix a bit of a lead coming out of Chapter 2 here, and now we're all in the Awake section where we're just trying to like move as efficiently as possible, and you can just see some really cool tricks, well, not tricks, just like really cool movement. Yeah, just trying not to get clipped by these corners or run into walls. BlackPear really solid in that section. So yeah, 2:11 chapter time for alt side is pretty decent. And meanwhile, Rack coming in pretty close behind BlackPear here, and yeah, now we're going to go into Chapter 3, which is definitely going to be a major point of separation if past races have been any indication. It's all about kind of navigating through the Dust Bunny cycles and trying to do so as efficiently and precisely as possible. So yeah, we'll just have to see how these vendors handle it here. Yeah, as Chad is pointing out, like even casually, oh, what? Not quite sure what happened to BlackPear's screen there. Okay, we're back. Okay, so everything is normal now. BlackPear's screen is back. Their timer isn't showing in the middle of the screen there, but that is fine. We will get the final in-game timer on the last screen of the game if absolutely necessary. So yeah, hopefully BlackPear does get a memo eventually to kind of switch over their chapter timer. But anywho, yeah, so Celeste Resort, as I was going to say, as chat was kind of talking about earlier, this is definitely like a significant spike in difficulty in a casual playthrough. I remember my first exposure to this game was like seeing a streamer play through this on like, you know, a little bit early as kind of a preview, and they only allowed the first 2 chapters to be played on their stream, and you can definitely see why, because like this is definitely like a significant uptick and not just like, you know, difficulty, but also kind of creativity, because now we're kind of going through the section where we're trying to clean out a mess, and you know, the more we clean out this mess, the more obstacles are going to be in our path. So yeah, we're kind of increasing the difficulty level as we go through these screens, and we're also clearing them out so that we're kind of landing next to Oshiro to trigger these cutscenes. Yeah, it seems that all the runners are doing pretty okay through Chapter 3 so far. Rubydragon is just a little bit behind Mallix in their race, and Rack... Yeah, it may just be the difference in the in the IDT right now, because Rack appears to be a little bit farther behind BlackPear here, but yeah, we'll have to get a better comparison once, assuming BlackPear is urged to switch over their timer. Oh, and BlackPear taking a death going... Yeah, both BlackPear and Mallix taking a death going for this early cycle in that screen here. Yeah, it's a very difficult thing to pull off, and their timing just wasn't quite on point there, as we see Rack the Kitty on the top right here, coming up on the second button. So they're about one huge mess section behind BlackPear at this point in RTA, which is the only point of comparison that we have currently. Meanwhile, we got Ruby playing it a little bit safe here, just going for the regular cycle, and yeah, gets it first try, so able to save a little bit of time on Mallix on that screen. Not taking the death and all, and yeah, they are going to be moving on through Celeste Resort. Just a few screens behind Mallix at this point, and yeah, these are the last few screens of the hotel part of Resort. They can definitely get you a little bit. Like, they're very long rooms that require a pretty precise movement. Oh, BlackPear! A little bit of an early menu, so yeah, that was a menuing mistake from BlackPear. Oh, and there's their timer back. Alright, but yeah, BlackPear, so one fun thing about this game is when you try to skip a cutscene, that button is mapped to the same spot on the menu as your retry button. So if you try to skip a cutscene a little bit early, you'll retry and you'll have to do the room over. So BlackPear losing a little bit of time with that menu and all, and kind of seemed like they were getting rattled at on the quad hyper dash screen. Just running into some death bunnies a little bit, but yeah, it should be. But yeah, hopefully they can recover, because this Oshiro section that Mallix is starting on now definitely can. Yeah, if you're not completely on point, this Oshiro section can definitely get you, because it's more long rooms, and now we have this enemy kind of chasing us from the left side of the screen here. Yeah, Mallix having to make another jump at that key coin, but again, yeah, they were able to adjust, and they were able to still avoid Oshiro chasing at them. Yeah, Mallix taking a death on this third to last screen here, as BlackPear, yep, they have pretty much recovered, and now they're on this last screen of the battle line chase, where we have this rising sun in the background that I've heard it can kind of be distracting to runners with this color changing in the background, but not for BlackPear. Yeah, they are through, and now we get their file timer, so they are out of there with a 9:23. So yeah, pretty comfortably ahead of Racket Kitty at this point. Definitely some opportunities for, time lost in later stages. This is a very difficult game, and getting through it precisely is, very demanding. But yeah, they're about a full Oshiro section ahead of Rack at this point. Oh, sorry, Oshiro chase. Yeah, so now we have Mallix and BlackPear starting here on Golden Ridge, which definitely kind of be an annoying level to get through. You have all these precise tricks that you have to pull off. You have these cloud trampolines that you have to deal with, this wind that's pushing it back, but yeah, luckily our dash canceled out the effect of the wind, so since we're just going to be constantly dashing no matter what, wind's probably not going to be too much of a problem so far. Rubydragon playing it a little bit safe at the end of the last Oshiro screen here, and to their benefit, they were able to get through. Rack the Kitty also getting through, so yeah, really solid stuff from all the runners so far. Alright, BlackPear gets that auto-scroller skip. And just really good stuff from BlackPear on their screen. Mallix kind of getting caught up on their screen, going for these wall bounces to kind of just advance up that room as fast as possible, but getting through it. They should be setting up an auto-scroller skip right now. There we go. Meanwhile, Ruby and Rack are starting Golden Ridge. Rack having a little bit of problems with their entry into Ridge, and you can kind of tell from the little frustration crouches that they just did. Yeah, maybe not having quite the run they would want in this elimination race environment, but just got to pick it back up, and yeah, did very nicely with those key coins. We got Rubydragon going for this tiny little auto-scroller skip there, just a subtle little spike jump to avoid having to ride this auto-scroller. We'll see if Rack goes for the same thing. Gets it first try, very nice. And we also have BlackPear starting here on the harsh wind section, where we're going to be introduced to snowballs. If BlackPear is moving quickly and efficiently enough, they should be able to just dodge the snowballs completely, and they won't even be that much of a factor. Ooh! Almost took the snowball in the face, but was able to just... Yeah, their movement was just quick enough that they were able to just, get out of that snowball's way, but missing that jump right there. They have to play it a little bit safe, took a little extra bounce on that spring, but they get out. So yeah, no deaths in the snowball section for BlackPear, which is always cool. Mallix is going to be starting their harsh wind section here. Oh, almost a quality save from Mallix's screen, but unfortunately just couldn't get that. Madeline just didn't give him his dash back, and he had to start that screen over, but that's a relatively quick death. Yeah, Mallix, a minor little flub on that screen there, but getting through pretty decently still. Oh, Ruby running out of stamina, trying to climb this wall here, but Yeah, gets it on this try. Wreck the Kitty, dealing with this virtually unskippable auto-scroller. Alright, and Mallix is getting out of, just a couple screens away from getting out of Golden Ridge, as BlackPear is starting on Mirror Temple with a nice little Ultra Dash there. Quality cutscene skip from BlackPear. Yeah, there's a few cool little tricks in Mirror Temple that, you know, save a little bit of time. Ooh, BlackPear gets that dash off the dash platform, but unfortunately wasn't able to get the corner boost to get the full yeet skip there. Alright, and now they're setting up double bubble skips, so are they just gonna ride the bubbles? Okay, fair enough. Yeah, usually when you see someone retry coming into this room, they're going to be going for like a pretty hard trick, but I think maybe missing the yeet skip in that first room, they weren't able to fully trust they were able to get the corner boost, so they just decided to play it safe and ride the bubbles. Alright, so Rubydragon out of Golden Ridge here. Mallix is coming up. Yeah, Mallix doing pretty well in this room. Had a death that I noticed going for the dash off the platform to just kind of skip heading into corporate rooms, but recovering. We'll see how they handle this room here. Yeah, they're trying to get this strat where they like fly off the dash platform and then they get this corner boost, which you get by like grabbing and jumping off of a corner with the 3-pixel window or something ridiculously precise. So yeah, they're able to like get the movement across the first room, but ideally they would want to be getting that corner boost, so in the next room they're just able to fly all the way across that without having to do anything extra. And we call it Eat Skip. I'm not 100% sure why it got that name, but I'm not gonna fight it. Anyway, BlackPear dealing with the Seekers here. Seekers definitely feel like RNG from time to time, but they are not RNG like everything else in this game. They're just completely manipulatable, and BlackPear kind of showing that off, letting the Seekers just do his bidding. And we see Wreck the Kitty, Wreck the Kitty is starting Mirror Temple here as BlackPear, having to dance around the Seeker a little bit. Okay, gets through. Yeah, that last screen of this unraveling section, which first introduces us to the Seekers, that can definitely kind of get you. Like, if you've activated all 5 key coins, but then take that Seeker death, that's a substantial time loss. With BlackPear, not losing a ton of time in Mirror Temple so far, and yeah, setting up Search Skip here. Very nice. Yeah, getting that, it's just a simple little reverse dash jump that lets you save about 1.5 minutes over having to do a full section where you have to grab 2 keys and bring them and have to like ride a bubble a long way. Meanwhile, we got Mallix starting off their Seeker section here. And Mallix taking death, trying to knock the Seeker into the key coin, and then just barely missing that jump, and the Seeker wasn't able to like activate that key coin for them, so they just had to do it themselves. Yeah, able to recover. They're on this screen in Unraveling, taking a death early, but early deaths on a screen like this you definitely want to take, although you'd rather not let them chain together. Oh no, Mallix taking a death at the end of that room. So Rubydragon, if they can have a solid Unraveling section here, they might be able to catch up, especially with this in-game timer difference that we have going on. They're about 15 seconds behind in-game time, so we'll have to get a comparison after Unraveling here. So Mallix exiting Unraveling at 17 minutes here, or at 17 minutes 0 seconds. Rubydragon just a couple screens away. So yeah, assuming everything goes well on these couple screens here. Okay, gets out. Alright, Rubydragon, interesting strat here. Letting the Seeker just kind of obliterate that one block. Ooh, dancing around. Okay. Rubydragon's out, 17-12. So less than 15 seconds behind Mallix's pace to that point. Alright, meanwhile, BlackPear is the first one out of Mirror Temple, and they're going to be heading off into Reflection. Yeah, so as BlackPear is introducing us to Feathers, Mallix is entering their Theo escape section, which BlackPear cleared too fast for me to like really explain. But yeah, we got our friend, he's in the crystal, we have to escort him all the way to the end of this level. And Theo has some weird properties. Oh, nice leg skip from BlackPear. Yeah, so we can't actually use our dash when we're holding the Theo crystal, so when we... So like if we want to move fast, what we have to do is we have to throw Theo and then execute like a hyper dash or a dash jump, and then when we catch Theo in mid-air, we're able to retain most of our momentum and get like a tiny little bit of a speed boost, and that was a really solid recovery on Mallix's screen. They weren't able to like get the boost from the Seeker that they were looking for, but was able to just neutralize the Seeker and get through cleanly. Oh, but Ruby taking a death at the end of the screen. So, yeah, that's going to give Mallix a little bit of time to pad their lead here a little bit, assuming that they still have it. Oh, nice throw from Ruby there on that screen, though, all the way downtown. Meanwhile, Mallix is coming on to the last screen of Mirror Temple here, so we'll have to get their time here, because that's looking like a pretty close race that we have on the bottom. Okay, so Mallix hitting the eyeball at about 1910. So yeah, definitely made up a little bit of time after that last unraveling screen, but Rubydragon still not too far behind. A little minor mistake here on this screen, not getting through on the platform, and yeah, just having a little bit of issue with their movement right here. Yeah, and this escape hasn't really been, probably not quite what Ruby wanted coming in to Mirror Temple, especially after their solid unraveling. Yeah, so there is going to be a little bit of distance between them and Mallix, going for leg skip on their own, trying to get this like wall bounce off a very small window. Gets it second try, very nice. BlackPear on the top there, making a really good time through Reflection as, yeah, Rack the Kitty is in the middle of their escape, or yeah, the middle of their escape sequence here. So yeah, really fun stuff on all four of these screens. A lot of action to try to cover. Yeah, Ruby hitting the eyeball at 20:07 there. Yeah, lost a little bit of time on that escape section, so there is a fair bit of distance between Mallix and Ruby at this point, but again, there's a lot of game to be played yet. Reflection is the second longest level, Summit's going to be the longest level. Opportunities abound for Ruby to catch up here. Okay, so BlackPear was setting up a backline boost there, but unfortunately mistimed their menu there. So they had already fallen into the pit, and because the game saves, I'm trying to think of like the right way. It's like a weird like unintended behavior of the game where like it moves your X coordinate but doesn't move your Y coordinate. So you see that used for a couple of cutscene skips like the one BlackPear went for in Mirror Temple, but in that case, because his Y coordinate was inside of a floor, by the time he skipped that cutscene, he was gonna die. He was just stuck there. So yeah, had to take a retry, but making good time now. Yeah, so we're on the battle line fight now. So yeah, she was chasing us in Chapter 2, now we're confronting her head on. And yeah, basically we're just trying to knock into her as fast as possible, and that means kind of canceling out of this floaty animation that she puts us into once we hit her, and just trying to get back to the ground as fast as possible to just continue chaining movement techniques together, because everything that we do based on interacting with the ground. Meanwhile, Mallix navigating that room with the bumper cycles really nicely. Bumpers are kind of a weird mechanic in this game, because if you hit them from any direction, they bounce you in the reverse of that direction, and if you're even like a little bit off, they'll just bounce you to somewhere you're not really going to be able to predict. Alright, meanwhile on the bottom race here, we got Mallix navigating the lone water section in this game as Rubydragon is navigating the Hollows Maze. A little bit of trouble getting through this one screen here. Yeah, you can kind of see like bumper weirdness in effect there, because Rubydragon was just a little bit off and just had to like figure out a new strat for what he was doing. Meanwhile, Mallix goes for Battleline Boost and gets it. They're going to be starting off their own Battleline fight. Meanwhile, we got Rack the Kitty. Yeah, still pretty early on in Reflection here, so there's a considerable amount of distance between them and BlackPear at this point. Yeah, again, both runners are just enjoying like a really good run for themselves, and yeah, we'll just cheer them on as they try to continue this really good run. Alright, meanwhile, BlackPear getting through Battleline really nicely, so yeah, this could be setting up to be a really good time through Reflection here. I'm not sure if sub 6 is possible at this point, but it's still a really fast time through Reflection here. Alright, so BlackPear 23:23 on their timer as they exit Reflection. So let me just refresh myself on their PB. So they have a 33:02, so a PB could be in the cards for them with a really good summit. So yeah, we'll just have to cheer BlackPear on as they go for this time, because this could be a really huge moment for them. As we got Mallix on the bottom here. Yeah, they're getting through Battleline as Rubydragon is starting. It looks like they're on the last screen of the first phase here. Yeah, so Mallix showing us the only 3 lines of dialogue that we'll really be encountering in this game, unless you count level up as a line of dialogue, or if you can do this. As BlackPear is starting off Summit, so yeah, at the end of Reflection, we get 2 dashes now, and so now the level design is somewhat twisted around to accommodate for that. We revisit all the previous chapters, and BlackPear not retaining one of their dashes, and yeah, just having to take the plunge into the spikes. Oh, and just a little bit off on this screen here, so yeah, a little bit of trouble here on the 1000 remix, on the 500 Forsaken City remix, so yeah. But, you know, very quick deaths, very minor deaths. Hopefully nothing that's going to set them too far back. But yeah, it definitely gave us some frustration jiggles of the Madeline there as they waited for that block, the zipper block, to kind of disappear. Meanwhile, Mallix exiting Reflection here. They're going to be learning how to double dash here and going through this cool little vertical section that kind of teaches you that you can double dash. And yeah, I would have to concur with what Chad is saying. Like, even if these races aren't really like the closest things in the world, these are still very talented runners. Like, Celeste actually has a habit of attracting there's a deep pool of talent that plays Celeste. Like, I remember, like, you know, when I first kind of started watching runs, like sub 40 was kind of like, you know, this like big achievement that everyone was kind of like, you know, really proud of. And now like everyone in the like top 110 or something ridiculous has a sub 40. Like, yeah, all these runners are just like really talented, and they've been working very hard on these runs. So yeah, this is just really cool stuff, and they're just displaying their skills for us today. So yeah, just going to pivot into the typical follow the runners here. !R if you like what you see on these screens. All right, meanwhile, BlackPear getting through 1,000 meters here pretty nicely, as Mallix is making pretty short work of 0 meter, and Rack the Kitty and Rubydragon both dealing with Battleline. Yeah, it looks like Ruby is about to end their Battleline fight, assuming that nothing goes horribly wrong on this screen. I'm concerned that something's went horribly wrong for Rubydragon, so I'm willing to take the blame for that one, but they get through that last screen, and yeah, they just have to go through all this upward section, but yeah, still just a little bit behind Mallix here, and Mallix seems to be enjoying a pretty solid run here through Reflection so far, so yeah, Mallix not really giving Ruby much opportunity to catch up here, has been doing very well since their unraveling section. Meanwhile, we got BlackPear saying hi to this dog. Yeah, 1500 that they're in right now, that can kind of be a run killer, and I'm not sure if it functioned like that for BlackPear. They are at 27 minutes coming out of Reflection, so I'm not quite sure what their PB potential is, but still very nice stuff that they've been showing. Alright, and Rack the Kitty getting out of Reflection here, so yeah, Rack the Kitty coming out of here. So I'm not sure if their SRC, if their speedrun.com PB is up to date. They are listed at a 38.6, it looked like. So yeah, Rack the Kitty also on PB potential, assuming that SRC is up to date for them. They would just need like a, 10 something summit to get that PB. So yeah, it should be exciting for them here as we get BlackPear having a little bit of trouble in this room in the Ridge remix, where we're kind of working with the wind here, but maybe just a little bit too fast going for those hyper dashes off the platforms there. Yeah, recovering nicely. Going to be in this last room here with all these Battleline alley-oops that we're just going to be canceling out of as early as possible, just continue moving as fast as possible, as one does in the speedrun. Alright, meanwhile, Mallix in 1500, and yeah, gets the first two Ultra Dashes in this room. Commonly at Mallix's level, you'll see runners go for 3 Hyper Dashes, or 3 Ultra Dashes in that room. Unfortunately, didn't quite have enough to go for that third one, but still got through that on the first try, which is you always want to see. Alright, meanwhile, BlackPear here in 2500. And 2500 is definitely like one of the cooler sections, just because like it's the Mirror Temple remix, but there's none of the Seeker part of Temple, it's just the movement part of Temple. So there's like all these super cool looking skips that you can do, like the double wave dash room and the key skip that BlackPear just got, and the needle thread that you're going to be seeing in a couple screens here. Yeah, gets a needle thread on the first try. Going to be going for door skip here. And they saved that second by just sneaking under those pillars. Well done to BlackPear. They are going to be going into 3,000 meters, the last part of the game, assuming no shenanigans on this screen. Yeah, so timer going red on their screen just before they get into 3,000 meters. So I can't remember what their 3,000 looked like in their PB. I think I was there for it, but yeah, they would need like a really, really fast 3,000 here to get that PB, but this is still going to be a very excellent run for them. So yeah, if you want to count down these flags, they just started flag 28 in the downdraft section. It gets that nice wall bounce off of an obscured like a platform there, and yeah, just running like mad through this section, getting all the oh, it looks like they tried to save it at the end there, but unfortunately couldn't quite get enough height, and that's kind of, this being downdraft, we have the gravity decrease, and that kind of limits the potential for saves here. Yeah, BlackPear recovering nicely, gets it on the second try, and yeah, moving very quickly through these next few flags here. Oh, meanwhile, Mallix. Yeah, that's kind of like the downside of going for corner boost. Sometimes you get kind of corner bopped, and yeah, it appears that's what happened to Mallix on their 2500 entry here, but come through again, gets those nice couple wave dashes off those platforms. Going for key skip here. Gets it on the second try, very nice. Right, meanwhile, we got Rubydragon here in the 1500 meter, the Golden Ridge remix, where we get the return of the wind and the return of snowballs. Yay! Wreck the kitty. Oh, excellent little improv at the end of that screen there. Yeah, death at the end of that, like, really long screen can definitely kind of kill you, but yeah, Rack taking it a little bit safe at the end there and gets rewarded. Oh yeah, and just to explain a term in case anyone in here isn't really familiar, a wave dash, which you've probably been just seeing, is when we kind of do we kind of like jump into a hyper dash, and that just gives you like the same speed as a hyper dash. Yeah, it's kind of like a hyper dash that you do from the air as opposed to from the ground. It's like the easiest way to explain it. Yeah, BlackPear flying up, almost finished with updraft here with the floaty gravity. Yeah, they need 30 seconds to get through the last 4 flags here to get that PB. Lands on flag 3 there. So yeah, they're going to be finishing just a little bit behind their PB here, but what matters for this race is that they finish ahead of Wreck the Kitty, which they appear to be able to do. Yeah, getting onto flag 1 here. Yeah, and the timer just fading into red that's a really cool effect. But yeah, they will be finishing out this win over Wreck the Kitty with a 33.09. So GG to BlackPear. They are moving on to face Hornlets in the next round of the brackets. And I suppose that is true. Rack could always, maybe turn on assist mode here and get through the rest of this game. But yeah, they are just going to be finishing. Looks like they're going to be entering into 2500 meter by the time their timer's going to be passing past BlackPear. Meanwhile, we got Mallix here in updraft. Yeah, on the second of these 2 really long checkpoint flags here. Flag 13 can definitely be kind of rough, but Mallix gets through it. Yeah, they're just going to have to float through this level. Meanwhile, Rubydragon going for door skip here. Yeah, missed door skip on their first attempt, but gets it on the second try, so well done to Ruby. Yeah, in the bottom race, it looks like Rubydragon will be able to get to 3000 meter by the time. Yeah, Ruby gets through that last room of 2500 as Mallix is on this last section of Summit where the gravity's returned to normal and you just kind of have to hold your nerve here. And meanwhile, we got Rack the Kitty going for door skip as well. Oh, unfortunately, running into the pillar on their second attempt here. Oh, nearly gets to the last door here, but yeah. Yeah, it looks like they were trying to set up a door skip, but yep, getting door skip here. So well done to Rack the Kitty, closing out their tournament with the door skip. And meanwhile, on the bottom left, we get Mallix climbing the last section. Oh, and forgetting to skip the cutscene, so we see Adeline pop out there for the, like closing cutscene. But yeah, gets through it, and they are going to be winning this race most likely with a time of 36:23. So GG to Mallix. Oh, and forgetting to skip the cutscene, so we see Adeline pop out there for the... Okay, apologies for that. Forgot to switch the audio over. Okay, and according to the controls, the audio for the other two runners is not currently usable, so I think we'll just have the background music playing as they get through the last parts of their summits. Yeah, so on the bottom right here, we got Rubydragon skipping one checkpoint flag, but you see a lot of runners kind of skip that flag because it kind of takes as much time to just go through flag 9 again as it would be to just, you know, go to, like, start from flag 8. So, yeah, that's kind of why you see a lot of runners skip that, just because, like, it's kind of a time waste to go for that flag, especially if you're confident in your ability to kind of clear through the actual flag 8 checkpoint. Yeah, Rubydragon now starting on the last section here. Yeah, having a little bit of trouble setting up that like last wall bounce there, but able to just kind of hang on to that wall and wait for that crumbling platform to despawn or respawn. Meanwhile, Rack the Kitty over here on flag 14. Yeah, they're getting through the updraft section here as Ruby over here on flag 2. Yeah, so Ruby making their final climb onto flag 1 for this tournament. So yeah, really good effort from Rubydragon. A really incredible tournament. Not a lot of people can say that they, you know, made it this far in this stage of the tournament. Yeah, that's gonna be it for Ruby, finishing their race with a 38-26. So yeah, get some GGs in for Ruby. All right. Then closing out this race, we got Rack the Kitty. Yeah, over here on flag 3, just has to, yeah, dashing out of that feather early just to save like a couple seconds. I'd have to wait for the animation to respawn. So it looks like they're a little bit out of range of their PB here, but still a really solid effort from them. They're coming up flag 1 here, just has to avoid any flag 1 weirdness. And that is it for Rack the Kitty, exiting this. Yeah, their run in the Celeste Any Tournament has concluded with a 38-17. So yeah, well done to Rack. Get some GGs in for them. Get some GGs in for all the runners. You know, really solid effort all race long. Yeah, kind of waded through some technical issues to start this race, but you know, able to recover, able to perform very well for us today. So yeah, very nice. Yeah, very fun watch from all these guys. All right, so if any of these racers want to come in here to talk about this race, they are more than welcome to join me for an interview. Otherwise, So as far as the Celeste Any Tournament, that is the last of the races that we have scheduled. Obviously, there's still a lot of tournament to go, especially in the lower bracket. I think we're still in like the second round of the bracket here. Yeah, and that includes the GG Talk Texter race to determine the winner, who will be facing Mallix in the next round. Yeah, there's still a lot of action that has yet to be scheduled. Obviously, the runners just have to kind of meet with each other and get that all set. But meanwhile, if you want to keep it locked to speed gaming 2 through 6, there's going to be, speed content for you all day. There's a Mario Galaxy tournament going on. Looks like there's, all the Zelda randomizers you could ever possibly handle. Yeah, kind of a lighter schedule today, but, just kind of keep it locked to these channels. Give all those channels a follow, and, also get the runners a follow.
Hello.
Hello, how you doing?
Pretty good.
Yeah, so Rack, what do you kind of feel went well for you in this race? I know you kind of finished a little bit shy of your PB. Was that still a 38.06?
My PB is 36.18. This was wildly shy of PB.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I kind of thought that that SRC was out of date, but I wasn't 100% sure.
Yeah. What went good about this race? We finished with our head held high, and that might have been about it. Actually, we have about 3 times the death count of our PB, and honestly, nothing really felt like it went well. But we went in there and we raced the best race we could, and we kept our head up for it, and I'll take that as a personal win.
Oh yeah, it doesn't sound as bleak as it kind of sounded when you kind of said the end was the best part, but yeah, solid effort today.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's still a very solid run. I mean, anything under 40 minutes, I'm perfectly fine with. Though, the difference between what I call a great run, I mean, it used to be that anything under like an hour was a great run, and now if it's not like 37 minutes or less, I'm grumpy about it. So, I mean, hey, at least the standards have gotten tighter.
Yeah, exactly. So, kind of reflecting on your tournament experience, obviously this is going to be it for you, but are you going to be continuing running Celeste, or have you kind of hit your goal for this game and you're going to be moving on to something else?
DreamHack Atlanta is coming up in early November, and I'm trying to submit a Celeste run for that, so I'll probably, if that actually gets accepted, then I'll probably be continuing to practice it to make sure that we get a good showing for it there, keep getting people into speed running it. If that doesn't get accepted, I'll probably still do it here and there, but I might move on to like all berries or all hearts instead of just any percent.
All right, fair enough. Well, yeah, good luck to you getting the game into that marathon, and yeah, good luck in all your future endeavors.
Thanks. Thank you so much for the commentary.
Yeah, no problem. Glad to step in for this one.
Yeah, thank you. Have a great rest of the day.
Yeah, you as well. That is a weird quirk on the screen here that, well, anyway, we'll get that fixed. Hopefully this is the last 4-way that we have to do as races start to thin out. But yeah, GG to BlackPear and Mallix for advancing through the tournament. Congratulations to Rack the Kitty and Rubydragon on pretty successful tournament runs. This is going to be it for the broadcast today. I have been Artie Walsh, and y'all have great days. Thanks.